What is
shit?
yo, dude? Listen, we got a good one today. What is up, Jules? Baby, it's good to see you.
I'm back, bitch.
I'm back, bitches.
I'm back, bitch.
Oh, absolutely awesome, man. Nothing, man. Chilling, bro. You know, just work. Just got home from work not too long ago, and yeah, sitting down and getting ready for this podcast. And I miss you, man. I miss seeing you, Jules.
Miss you too, man. This has been such a long time coming. It feels good to be back.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And you guys already know who the guest is that's going to be coming in here in a little while.
Oh, hell yeah.
But yeah, Jules, dude. So listen, Texas was awesome, wasn't it?
Texas was phenomenal, man. I'm trying to see my back, Chris. I'm trying to see who it says we're streaming on your shit. Is that what it is? Let me see. Let me just double check.
It does, but I don't see I'm on my personal Facebook page and it don't even say I'm live.
Let's see what's happening.
Oh yeah, it does. I got it.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
On my page.
Maybe you could share it to pin the gas. But yeah, man, Texas was.
I am right now.
Texas was everything. Texas was everything. It was everything I hoped and dreamed it would be.
Facts, dude. It was fun. It wasn't overly hot like it was last year.
No, it wasn't. It was actually really nice, bro. I loved everything about that whole weekend. Oh shoot, man, yo, we forgot, man. We got to shout out little
of course, song, absolutely. You know? So you guys already know. Listen, this podcast that's gonna happen in what time is it? It's gonna happen in like 18 minutes.
18 minutes.
Yeah, 18 minutes specifically. But listen, everything, pin to gas. It's an absolute honor. Absolute honor to be sponsored by the best people and the best brand there is in Moto America, and every one of you already know who it is. It's on my hat. It's on Jules' hat. Bison. So anybody out there looking for a track day suit, you want to be a racer, or you just want a leather jacket, a set of gloves, or a set of custom gloves, chest protector, undersuit, whatever it may be, hats, beanies, sweatshirts, t-shirts, all that good stuff, right? Look no further than Bison. They're on every social media platform, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, all that good stuff, right? So yeah, reach out to them if you guys have any questions at all. You guys can actually reach out to me, and I'll definitely point you in the right direction. And actually, hang on one second. I actually have a discount code.
You got these guys got the discount code.
Yeah, hang on one second. Look, man, this is new to me, man. So hang on one second. Let me pull it up. So the discount code is 2024 sponsored 40, and if you use that at Bison, you get 10% off. So everything.
Everything.
Everything
and everything. That's why you got to tune into Bison, bro. Bison got you covered. The beautiful gloves, the beautiful colors of the suits, even people's helmets that got Bison on it looks fantastic. And the beautiful people that sell Bison and that created Bison. Those are one of the coolest people you could ever meet.
They are absolutely simply amazing. Robert and Tasha Lackey, they're always there.
Mega.
Dude, simply proper mega. No bullshit, mega, dude. Yes, saying? Absolutely, man.
I mean,
son, right? That's awesome. But yeah, it's man, listen, when you meet Robert and Carter, his son, and all them, man, it's they're gonna leave an impression, and they're absolutely amazing people. So yes, Bison, absolutely, simply the best. So there you go.
Simply the best. Better than all the rest. Is that the country rendition? Was that Tina Turner?
Tina, yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's good stuff.
It was a bit fucking country ass version, but yeah, man, it feels good to be back, bro. Like speaking of Bison, I did run into Robert Lackey out there, ran into Tasha up in Max Flinder's little tent space, and they were like, "Where's Chris?" Where was Chris out there being a social hoe?
Right. Exactly what I was doing.
Yeah, we was looking for you.
Listen, I tried to get up, man. It was, dude, I walked over there in Moto America paddock like half a dozen times, and there was nobody back there. Everybody was on the MotoGP side. That's what like blew my mind, right? Nobody went over there and even looked at the baggers. They were just like, whatever.
Mhm.
But yeah, I sat there. I met Troy Heffross, but he was actually in a deep conversation. So I sat there for a couple minutes, and I was like, "I'll come back," you know. And every time I come back, man, it was like almost a ghost town. So,
Yeah, because they ain't trying to stay there, man. They try to party with the big boys.
but it was amazing, man. It was simply amazing. The MotoGP race was good. Obviously, you guys have seen it already. But yeah,
Yeah.
we got MotoGP this weekend, right? We got the Northwest.
Start of the Euro Tour.
The Northwest 200, the Island Man TT's coming up, BSB. I mean, it's a proper mega year, right?
Dude, what a year has it been for motorcycle racing all across the board, man? I mean, starting off with Texas, right? Mark Marquez going down after leading the whole race, right? And this is some old shit, but we're gonna get through it. So Mark Marquez was leading the whole race, goes down. Maverick Vinales, captain, he's not even Maverick Top Gun anymore. It's Batmav, which I don't know. I don't know if I'm really a fan of that one. I think that's kind of corny. Top Gun sounded pretty cool.
Absolutely, I agree. Top Gun.
Really? Do you really agree with me?
Yeah, I do, man. Batmav, dude. Come on, man. It's
Batman just sounds weird, bro.
yeah,
Like,
man. It does. It sounds
really
like
mess
he
with
should.
that.
That sounds like that should be his OnlyFans account.
Batman. Follow me on OnlyFans on Batman.
Right.
But he had a hell of a race. I mean, Aprilia, look at this shit. Not a bad wagon. I just got the sweater. I'll explain that later.
It's fire too.
But Chris, what did you think? Thank you. What did you think about the race, man?
Man,
overall,
I thought it was a great race. I did. It was exciting to see that it wasn't so far spread apart, right? Except for the back markers, right? So Luca Marini and the Hondas, yeah, I don't. It's just been a rough year for them. And the seats we was in this year, me and Jason sat in turn 15, like the third row, dude. So it was awesome. We seen him come down the back straight, going into turn 12, and then all through that little section and go right up underneath the bridge. It was absolutely amazing, man. It really was.
Man, I'm jealous because you guys get to see it from a really great angle and point of view, right? And some might say like, yo, it's cool that when me working on the track, but I only get to see like just a little. Granted, I'm really close, but I could only see just a little bit of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys get to see all of it, and it's like, damn, I want to get on that little spectator tip, but like, there's a camaraderie with volunteering, man. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's like we're in this shithole together. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a brotherhood.
I think it's a beautiful thing. And I told you, man, I do. One day I'm going to go out there in Marshall just to experience that side of it, because it's absolutely, you guys get the best seat in the house, not me, right? You guys do. You're actually there. No fence, no clear view, right? Like the best HD vision. You go 8K.
And we could touch the bikes when they crash.
Right. Yeah, man.
My hands all over that shit.
But honestly, when I'm at the races, I don't really watch them a lot because I'm too busy running around. Yeah, I'm a social butterfly, dude. I am. I fly around like a little butterfly, and I don't shut up. I just keep talking and talking and talking, and yeah. So you guys know that have met me at a moto, in Moto America and all that. So
yes, Jason was like, "Oh, here you go, talking to somebody again."
Right. Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing, man, and that's what got you where you are today, especially with the whole Bison thing, and you've carried Pin the Gas, man. So, I'm like, I can't help but be more proud as well. Everybody that watches Pin the Gas, man, everyone's wait, what the hell? How did you wait? Oh shit, that's fire, dude. Everyone sees how well you're doing, and like it's just. Damn, bro! Like you took this podcast and skyrocketed. Like,
I appreciate it, man. It's yeah, my love for it, dude. And I was just like, you know what, we need to run with it. So yeah, it's turned into this something I never thought it would turn into. Just to be honest with you, and it's an absolute honor. And I tell everybody all the time how much I love them and appreciate them. It's I get lost for words when we talk about it because I really don't know what to say, man. It's like, it's an honor, and I love you guys. And I just, that's it. I mean,
I just that's it.
Man, listen, I'm just so lost for words, Jules. It's so mega. I never dreamed in a million years that I would be here and doing this, right? And Ben Lee, thank you so much.
Ben
You're
Lee.
a natural, and
Thank you.
it's like this, you lit this fire inside me. You and Andy, man, when you guys invited me on this podcast, man, and it's just been burning so bright, so hard. It's one of the most natural things I've ever done. I'll put it to you like that. It's
For sure. Seeing
So
from where you were in the beginning to like where you are now, you're like, damn, like just the second evolution of Chris, like, you know what I'm saying?
right.
And I'm glad to be back on my end. I'm glad to be back. And now that we both have sort of 9 to 5s, I can be here full time now because now me and you are on the same schedule.
Pretty much, yeah.
So yeah, that's my commitment for 2024 is to come back and get to know all of you that have been on the show already and without me, and or get to know some new people along with Chris, because it's always a beautiful thing going out to these races and even for me, I know Chris gets a lot, but even for me, when people are like, oh, like I seen you up in the gas, I'm just like, you remember me? Damn, you know what I mean? So awesome. It feels great, man. Coda, like for example, meeting up with Robert Lackey and Tasha, right? Max is. Did you get to see Max that weekend?
I did not, but I caught up with him in Atlanta. I gave him a big hug and was like, Flinders, when you coming on? He's like, Simcoe, I done told you. Just call me and I'll come on. So I need to we'll get Max Flinders back on. But
we'll get him back on.
He's absolutely amazing, dude. I love Max Flinders. His whole personal, his energy he puts off is just nothing but natural loveness, right? Natural loveness. Loveness, man. It's nothing but feel good, right? So it's always a pleasure and an honor to talk to everybody in the Moto America paddock, right? But yeah, Max is what I love about Max, not that he's just super mega fast, the yellow flash, right? Is that he takes his time out to look at that. Look at him.
Look at him. My man Maxie.
Flinders is awesome. He always takes the time out to talk to everybody, take pictures and autographs. Sure. He's just absolutely.
He's the best. He's
a legend.
Like the best. And I always pray for the best for him. When he snagged that podium with a broken hip, I was broke. Oh, it was a broken foot. I thought it was a broken hip.
No, I think it was a foot. I could be wrong, but I thought it was a foot in Jersey because he got the podium in Jersey.
No. The recent one.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Road Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah, he had the broken hip. And I was messaging him. I'm like, bro, like you okay? And he was on cloud 9. He didn't give a shit that he was there. He's like, bro, I got my podium. And I screamed like I was a proud father. I was like, yeah. Dude, I wish that, man, oh my God, if there's anybody in Moto America I want to see succeed more than anyone, it is him. And that's not a knock to anybody from Moto America that I love. I love each and every one of you, but Max, just the kind of person that he is and what he does for the community and how he treats us, the fans, he's just, man, that man deserves every good thing in life.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. He is he's an absolute legend. So listen, what we're saying is you go to Moto America race, you have to stop by and see the yellow flash Max Flinders. Trust me, you can't miss him. Number 88. You can't miss that
freaking
the brightest yellow bike in the paddock, right? Also the bagger class too. Yeah.
Oh, I love the bagger class, Chris. I used to hate that shit. I won't lie.
I know there's a lot of people that didn't like it at first. I wasn't going to say, now I'm not going to use the word disliked. I was just kind of on the fence. I was like, you know what, this could actually work or it's not going to work. And if it works, I think it's going to help the sport grow because it's going to bring other bikers that's normally not into road racing in, right? So you're bringing whole new families and generations, and it's just going to help us grow. And look where we're at, right? It's absolutely probably the most popular class in Moto America. Let's just be honest, is the bagger class. Hence, that's why they only went and raced with MotoGP.
Yeah, it turns out that the baggers are a new premier class. I mean, as much as I want to dislike that, it is what it is. It gives Moto America its identity.
I'll be back 1 second. Hang on.
he'll be back. So I believe the bagger class gives Moto America its identity, right? I mean, I enjoy it. It's really good racing. I mean, racing's racing, right? It's really good racing, and watching those things just destroy Coda. Granted, it was only for like what, 6 laps. It was probably one of the most exciting and entertaining things I've ever seen. And like, I was on turn 10 my first day when I was volunteering at the track, and I swear to God, I always thought that one of those bikes was gonna fall in my corner because of how shaky they were coming up that little steep. And I'm just like, man, the speed in which these things run. They run like what, 214s? And I think Moto 3 runs like 212s, 213s. I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers is going quick. Like, holy shit. And Moto 3 is a different bike. It's a slower bike, but still, like, you compare the bagger to a Moto 3 bike, they were almost the same track time. That is insane to know how fast these guys were going on those baggers.
They're absolutely rip.
Right, because Moto 3 was like 213, 212s, and then the baggers were running 214s. I was like, what the fuck? These things are quick.
They're
so fun to watch, bro. They're so fun to watch. And seeing more teams being created, seeing more people wanting to come here and race the bagger class, I think that's beautiful. On the flip side of things, I still do wish that the superbike class is our premier class. In my mind, it still is, but in reality, I don't think so.
I think, listen, this is just my opinion. I think the future of our sport, where it's headed, is going to be no more 1000s. I think we're going to go back to like the 750 era. I would love to see that happen, just because they're getting rid of
the 850
1000s pretty much, right? And then MotoGP's going to 850.
In 3 years.
Yeah, 2027. It's gonna be, but that's just what I would love to see. Who wouldn't, dude, love to see a ZX7RR again, right? Or an OW04 new Yamaha YZF 750, right? I mean, come on, it would be, they would sell like absolute hotcakes. I guarantee it.
Speaking of super bikes that will sell, KTM released footage, not exact footage, but they released a video on their YouTube channel. I was watching it last night. That's why I was so tired for work. Of the RC 990, and their selling point for that is it's a KTM super sport. It's a super sport that is comfortable for the street. It's a legit super sport bike that is comfortable for the street and a beast on the track. And I'm sitting here wondering, I'm like, okay, so comfortable for the street, what does that make it? Is it more upright? Is the engine like is the engine like a V engine? There's no really specs on it yet, but I'm trying to grasp. Is it like a more comfortable Panigale V2? Panigale V2 is a pretty comfortable bike. It's not like terribly committed. And the RS, because like the only thing I can compare it to would be the Panigale V2 or but the RS 660 is a way less committed position than your stereotypical super sport. So I'm curious to know where KTM is going with that.
It's funny that they actually come back, because it's they got rid of the RC 1190 that they had solely because they said
the RC8.
Yeah, there should not be 1000s be sold to the public. That's the whole reason why they pulled it, right? And here they are. Yeah. But yet again, they make the 1390 Super Duke R that's absolutely mental,
stupid,
right?
Right.
Stupid. So it's
insane.
Look who we got.
Look who we got. Oh snap. All right. Well, that is the end of our segment rambling. We're gonna go ahead and bring in Jamie. I'm gonna mess up your last name. Please forgive me. Astudillo?
You're close. You were close. It's Astudillo.
Astudillo.
Yeah.
All right.
What ethnic origin is that?
My dad is from Ecuador. Mom's from Costa Rica. So South America, Central America.
Okay. All right.
I love it. I love it.
Astro Jamie.
Yeah.
There, man. It's been a while since I've done that. Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
This is the first time we've ever done a rolling intro, Chris.
It is. It is. And listen, Jamie, it's an absolute honor to have you on the podcast.
Oh, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, no problem. we're glad you're here. We're gonna have a good. Are you ready for a really good time? Because I know I'm ready for one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we ready.
That's
We're
it.
ready. And this is my first time being back after a couple months, so this is great sharing it with you, Jamie. Like, holy crap! Like
This is awesome.
It's multiple guest time.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. So Jules is, he got a new job, so he's been away for a while, and he come back and he's like, dude, let's get on a little early before Jamie comes on, so we can talk about the MotoGP race and all that cool stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, and then
a little bit.
Right, and then here you are, right, and this is all about Jamie right now. So yeah, absolutely. Welcome to Pin to Gas. It's an absolute honor to have you here, and the very first thing that I always like to get into is take us to the very beginning journey on how you got into motorcycles to begin with.
Yeah. So I actually have 2 older brothers that raced. They're both 7 years older than me. So before I was even born, they were already riding. My dad raced when he was younger. So it was kind of just, I guess, natural. I was at the races with my brothers, so they were just like, well, we might as well get her a bike, because what else is she going to do at the track? So, but honestly, the whole, like, how I got into racing, my parents didn't expect me to race because they had my brothers, right? Like, everything was focused on them, and it was just kind of like, hey, I want to race. I actually want to do this. So I had to, like, I was super independent. I would get all my gear on by myself. I was like 4 years old getting ready while my brothers were still like, 10 years old, having to get their like boots put on and everything. And I would put all my gear on and be like, hey, I'm ready to go. Let's go. So yeah, that's how I started racing and riding. I guess I really liked it.
That's awesome. And I presume you're faster than your brothers now, right?
I'd say so.
Oh,
it's
like that.
Both of my brothers raced up until like a professional level. My one brother, he did the pro, like the motocross pro nationals and stuff like that. So he was pretty quick, but he stopped racing a few years back. So he can probably do like 1 lap, and then he gets arm pump, and then it's all hell breaks loose. So
that's awesome. And you're just like, see ya,
yeah,
brother, right? Yeah, see ya.
Yeah.
It's a stamina race.
He can keep up for like a lap. He's still got the speed, but he doesn't have the stamina. He's like, yeah, no, I'm out. So.
Better get back on that cardio, bro.
Yeah.
Who was it? Little sidetrack real quick. Who was it? I was listening to a podcast with Jeremiah Burton, Donut Media. He was talking about like people who do like motocross. That's their cardio. Like, it's like, what do you do? What do you do for your workout to keep your cardio going? Motocross. That's it.
Listen, motocross, Jamie can contest to this, is no joke. It is a serious workout, and you have to be in shape. It's to me, when I watch supercross and motocross, to me it's more of a rougher sport than contact football, because you're constantly getting beat up. I mean, the ruts, you're just constantly Jamie, she's gonna tell you, right? It's a very physical sport.
Yeah, it's kind of, I always think that it's kind of, like how boxing, like you always know you're going in, you're gonna get like beat up, right? Kind of same thing with motocross. You're always gonna end up like sore of some sort. Like, even if you don't crash, you're gonna wake up the next day and be like, I'm pretty tired, like I'm pretty sore. Like it's always gonna happen.
So a motocross spill or getting tackled by a 320-pound Samoan dude?
Honestly, depending on the crash, I feel like it's about the same or worse.
Yeah.
So like I crashed doing just like a local enduro hair scramble race a couple weekends ago, and I my bike just like came after me from behind, and just like it hit me in the back. And I woke up for the next 2 days, I was like pretty beat. I was like, yeah, no, like I definitely got hit by a truck. Like it was pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, did I just fight Mike Tyson 2 days ago? Like,
no,
I'm
literally
this sore. I'm not.
Yeah.
So that happened to me real quick. So we bought my son a trampoline, right? And I go out there. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna show my son up. I'm a back flip, front flips. I'm out there jumping for a couple hours. The next day I woke up, I felt like I got seriously beat up for like a couple
trying to
days.
reclaim his youth.
Bro, I was like, oh my God. But that's just my body telling me that, hey, I can still do it. I just need to keep doing it, and then that soreness will go away, right? But it was I feel you on that, Jamie. Like, literally, I opened my eyes and try to roll out, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. What's wrong with me?
Oh yeah.
Dude, that was like my first track day. Shout out SFL Mini. on a little 150. I kept crashing. I felt like shit, and like we had to go to Disney World the next day, so I was just hobbling. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
but no,
I've
that's
had
great.
to
What do you? Oh yeah,
Yeah, I've definitely had to I've crashed days before like something that I'm gonna go do with the family, and then like you just gotta like suck it up and just hobble
just
along
pretend
all
you're not
day.
hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
Just fake it till you make it. What do you
Yep.
ride, by the way?
I have a KTM 250F. That's what I race.
Speaking of KTM,
Yep.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
proper. Because I was going through her social media and I seen a
we
lot
were
of
stalking your social
motocross.
media.
Yeah, absolutely stalking it, right? Like a bird. But you've won a lot. And motocross again is just an absolute amazing sport. Every time I rode motocross, I ended up getting hurt, right? I still ride. I got a little CRF 100. But yeah, it seems like I get hurt worse on my motocross bike than my crotch rocket, right? When I do track days or whatever. It's crazy. Seriously, even at a lower speed, it really hurts.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I can't even imagine, like, especially if you I pay attention to how you guys like kind of preload the suspension and then you make that hop, especially if you land on the wrong side of the hill or like on top of a bump.
Yeah,
I could only imagine how much that hurts, especially me being a dude and having sensitive middle parts. That don't look fun.
Yeah, I've experienced my brother doing that a couple of times, and he's just like he's just on the floor, like he won't crash, but like he'll hit and then he'll like have to come to a stop and just like lets the bike go and just like lays there for a little while. Yeah,
It just you just boom, boom.
Yeah.
It's either that or you start screaming like an opera singer.
Yeah.
But looking at your Facebook, I saw some road racing stuff.
Yeah. I did road racing for a few years. Raced in Moto America for 3 years. I did the KTM Cup for its last year, right before it changed to the Junior Cup, and then I did that with Melissa Paris and her MP13 team. That was the first year that she had her own team and everything. So I was her first rider. Fun fact.
That's fire.
Yeah. we did it like full girl power, me and her. Obviously Josh helped out, but he was still racing. So he was still racing for Factory Yamaha, and he had his own things going on. So he did what he could, but he was obviously busy. So it was me and Melissa. And that was really fun. And then the next year I went to Quarterly Racing, and I raced with them for the last 2 years that I road raced. And kind of when they fell through, I didn't really have many more options to keep road racing, unless it was like my parents couldn't financially keep me road racing. They were just like, it's a lot of money, we can't do that. With Quarterly, I had a lot of support through the team, through Araldo Faraci. Like, they helped me out so much, so I was able to road race with them. But once they fell through, dog came to
I love it.
Yes, big attack. Oh my god. Yes. Wait, hold on. Ice, come here.
Look, we are dog lovers. Absolutely. He's so cute. What's his name?
Her name's Luna.
Oh, her Luna. I love it. She's so cute.
My freaking husky won't come here.
But yeah, so
I got my pit bull right here.
Aww.
Let's see if I could.
She always hangs out.
Oh, there, little bastard.
So cute. But yeah, when Quarterly fell through, it was just kind of like, okay, I can't keep road racing. I get it. It's fine. And honestly, at the time, Moto America was not in its best state.
Yeah.
Like, team wise, everything was kind of falling apart. So there just wasn't anything for me. And I was like, okay, I'll just keep racing motocross. It's what I'm good at too. So I'll just do that for now.
Right. So in the future, do you plan on trying to get back to road racing at all, or are you just dirt?
I would love to. I would honestly love to go back. I don't know if I should like spill this or if this will make my chances worse for like next time. But I did send in my application for the Build Train Race program.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I did not get accepted.
No.
I don't know why. They don't tell us why. They just say, we didn't pick you. Thank you. Whatever. But I did want to do that. Just because I thought, like, I know it's not, obviously they race, it's competitive or whatever, but I know it's not like one of the pro classes, but I just thought it would have been something fun to do. Just because I'm like, I just graduated college, kind of
Nice.
starting to like do other things and maybe not race as much. And I thought that would be something to like fun to do. I don't have to like train full time for that, right? It's something that is I'm still racing. It's fun. So I wanted to take that avenue of it. But I didn't get accepted, so so there's
Oh,
that.
man.
But yeah,
That's
my
All
hope
right.
was
One door
was to do
closes,
that
another
this
one
year.
opens.
What's that?
I said one door closes, another one opens.
Yeah,
Maybe
hopefully.
plenty opened for you.
Yeah, I would
Shoot.
have loved. I would have loved to gone back and race Twin Cup at least, like try it 1 year. I've never.
Oh, that'd be sick.
I've ridden an R6. I've never raced an R6. I've never done a club race or anything on it because as soon as I got one, that's kind of when everything fell through. So I actually still have my R6, but I just like don't ever have time to go do track days. But I feel like for me, being somebody that didn't grow up road racing and like doing that gradual transition, the R6 was a lot for me. Like I wasn't ready for that step. So I think like the perfect bike for me would have been the Twin or like the R7 right now. So I don't know. I hope one day I can maybe get on one because I've never ridden a Twin, not even at a track day. So that would be fun to like try to do that and ride that.
Oh, for sure. I have no doubt you will too, right? You can just keep replying to BTR. You will eventually make it. Because at first I know they were only accepting girls that had no road racing experience at all, right? It was new to get in, but then since they changed the rules, so now they do allow
more competitive.
Well, that and it's such we have friends that actually come from there and race there, and it's absolutely amazing. I think it's a great program. I think they should do something like
Wonderful
that
program.
for like junior cup kids too, as well, right? Because then they get more involved, not just the train race, right? But you get to actually work on your own bike, and
I
you
think
get to learn. Yes,
that's super cool. Actually, I actually tell a lot of people about this. When I was on quarterly, it's called quarterly racing on track development, right? So it wasn't just it wasn't Dale quarterly just teaching us how to ride the motorcycle. He would take us back during the week to his shop and we'd work on our own bikes, right? He'd be doing his own things because he works on cars and all that stuff. And he'd just be like, okay, like he'd give us an assignment. He'd be like, do this. And we'd have to figure it out. Obviously, if we needed help, he'd come and like tell us what to do, but he wouldn't do it for us. So I think that was something that was super cool because we got to learn. You have to learn about your bike. You have to know how your bike works to be able to ride it, right? Like, how are you supposed to give feedback if you don't know how your bike actually works? Right. So that was super cool, and that was really fun because we'd go ride. Like he'd take us down to like this flat track facility. We'd go ride. We'd go play on like 140s and stuff throughout the morning, and then in the afternoon we'd go work on our bikes. So I mean, that's pretty cool. It was really fun days when we did all that. But I think that is something great that like the Junior Cup does need because those riders need to learn not to just be pampered and just ride all day. They need to learn how to work on their bikes too. So
yeah, it's also cost saving if you can work on your own bike. So you know what I mean, a couple $1,000 less.
Yeah, that's true.
Is there a more of an edge or like a grit with motocross and all that you kind of carry around with you? I just feel like motocross racers have like a certain swagger to them. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. I can't explain it, but like I don't know. Do you feel this like swag that you have in motocross? Like I don't know. I can't explain it. It's like gritty. You know what I mean?
I will say I guess gritty, yes, because I felt like coming from motocross, like how it's a lot more of a contact sport, I'd say, in many different aspects. That like I felt like not that I was like tougher, like I didn't come in like thinking like, oh yeah, like I'm big and strong and but like I felt like I wasn't as easy to push around as some of the guys. Yeah. Like some of them seemed very
timid.
Very, very timid, very pampered in a way. Like you couldn't be straight up with them. Like, like you had to stroke their egos in a way or they'd like completely fall apart, Whereas I was used to just kind of being pushed around on the moto scene and stuff like that. So I was kind of like used to it. And I grew up, even in motocross, even though we have like the girls class and the women's division, I always grew up racing with the guys just because I knew that was going to push me. And it would make it easier for me when I raced against the women. So I was just used to like all of that, like competing with the guys, having to deal with their dads. let me tell you about that. Oh my gosh, growing up and competing with the boys and like beating them when I was on smaller bikes, the dads would freak out. They could not
Facts.
take it.
They'd lose their mind. They're like, "What? Are you kidding me right now?"
The typical. You let a woman be.
Yeah. This is the thing, though, man. This is what you guys absolutely deserve to be there with us. To me, and I've said this 100 million times. I got a lot of females that race, and they're all mega proper fast. You are too as well, right? A woman, to me, when they're on a motorcycle, whether it's a motocross or a road race bike, have more of a natural ability and style to them, where when I watch a man do it, it's almost like we got to think about it and figure it out. We almost kind of force it in a way, where when a woman gets on it, everything's just so natural and you guys just flow. I don't know. I guess it's just your guys' instinct, right? It's
a little bit more agile.
That, and you guys are a lot smoother.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely a lot smoother because you have more patience.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Like, guys are just like, oh, we gotta go. Like, whereas, I mean, obviously you need to be a racer, you need that. So to an extent, like, yes, like us women that race and that are fast, we have that too. But in a way, we also are like, we take it back a little bit. We like calm ourselves down. And I actually do that quite a bit. Like, I tell myself that when I get too like anxious or when I start making a bunch of mistakes, and I'm like, hey, give yourself a second, breathe, slow down, and then everything will start to get into place. So I think I agree. Women are much smoother when it comes to racing.
So kind of like fall back into your fundamentals.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes a dude would be like, "Fuck this! Like I've been doing it my way.
Yeah,
ain't nothing wrong with it."
Exactly. Yeah.
No, I definitely enjoy that, and it's just women in sports in general. I mean, like you look everywhere across the board, even in Formula One, for example, the
F1
forgot her
Academy.
name. Yeah, the F1 Women's Academy. Like they're just as fast as like the dudes in F3 and F2. I'm just like, damn, like the talent is there. And then you go to basketball, Caitlin Clark, like she's selling out tickets everywhere. Like women in sports, like I love where it's going, and I'm so excited to see you guys, take center stage, because it makes everything just a tad bit more exciting. And I feel like this whole renaissance coming in, and I can't wait. I can't believe I'm part of it. I can't believe you guys are a part of it. I can't believe we're witnessing it. It's just exciting, man.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of all like women's sports. Like, I do not watch a single men's sport except for like Supercross and motocross, because like obviously that's my thing. But like I will not watch the NBA. I will not watch the NHL, like NFL. No. But like if women are playing, of course, sign me up. Like, I don't like hockey, but I've been watching the new women's hockey league this year just because it's women playing. Like, I gotta support the league.
Gotta support them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Facts, 100%.
With this renaissance, I've been trying to watch a WNBA game, but tickets skyrocketed. So I'm like,
yes, I am a huge WNBA fan. I'm from PA, Philly area. We don't have a team, but the closest team is the New York Liberty. So that's my team. My phone case has the logo of the New York Liberty. Like, I have jerseys. I've been to a few. I try to get out to one game a year. But this year, definitely want to go to an Indiana Fever game, or like New York versus Indiana.
Yeah, because we're trying to see Caitlin Clark spank that ass. So like, you know what I'm saying? She's if you don't know Chris, just for context of people, Chris, are you familiar with a gentleman named Steph Curry?
Yeah.
So Stephen Curry is pretty much automatic from everywhere outside the 3-point line. That's what Caitlin Clark is. She's literally her version of a freaking sniper from literally anywhere. And I'm just like this. And she beat out 90% of the, actually, let me increase it. 97% of the men in the 3-point contest, except for Steph, but Steph. But still, it's just like, holy shit. She is fucking amazing to watch. Her, Angel Reese, all these other guys. I got into it, but the women's renaissance in sports is amazing. It's fantastic, and
I absolutely love it, dude. It's
freaking Kayla Yakov and Super Sport, like
right. It's
you know what I mean.
And the all new women's FIM championship coming up alongside World Superbike. What do you think about that, Jamie?
That was super cool. I was super excited about that. Because I saw that it was like $20,000, and I was like, I looked over at my parents when I saw that, and I said, hey, can we
20
try to
grand.
do something?
It's 20 grand. It's not that bad, right? My tuition's more.
Right.
Literally,
Right.
It's another 20
college
grand.
tuition was a lot more. But
Oh my god.
but no, I mean, obviously I need some help for that, and obviously I'd have to start road racing again. I haven't touched a road race bike in over a year. But I don't know. I really want to road race again. At least like try to maybe not do like a full season, but like get me a bike. I'll start doing track days, and I'll do the East Coast rounds or something,
Right.
But
Like Atlanta,
so-
and Jersey. Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Yep, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh,
Well, now it's Mid Ohio.
Yep, Mid Ohio.
Oh, right, because they
Facts.
stop at the.
Yep.
Do you like the Mid Ohio track? I don't know.
Yeah, Mid Ohio is
I
awesome.
haven't. Is it? I haven't seen it.
Yes. Yeah, dude, back old school, and Aaron Yates and all them used to race it back when Moto America was
Oh.
AMA Superbike racing. Dude,
Yeah,
there's photo.
yeah.
I actually got a picture of Aaron Yates. I said this on the podcast the other day. A poster of Aaron Yates dragging his elbow in the 2000s at Mid Ohio. So everybody talks about all Mark Marquez and all them dragging their elbow when everybody first started doing it. I said to myself, I was like, dude, Rich Oliver and them, they've been doing this. Like, this is nothing new, right? It's funny how people think it's a new thing. It's really not. Now, dragging the shoulders like Jorge Martin, yeah, absolutely.
That's
That
just
is a new
ultimate
thing, right?
beastly. Like, I don't understand. But like, what usually when people mention Ohio, I'm like, ugh, brother, ugh, what's
Right.
that? So I don't know if it's a good track, man. I'm down for it. I was actually looking for another round to fly to, and then I saw Ohio, and I was like, brother, ugh. But I'll watch it on TV. I don't know.
I think they got new pavement. Is that why they're going back?
Yeah, they
right?
repaved it. Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yep, they
Makes
did.
sense.
Absolutely.
So that'll be exciting. I think when they do the same tracks, obviously they're like limited. Whereas I feel like motocrosses, there's a lot more places to go. Whereas Moto America got so like they're so limited, and it's the same rounds every year. But it's cool that they like try to switch it up at least for one round.
I also think it's correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's a little easier for you guys to blow up through motocross. Like in America, at least, it's no case that motocross, supercross is way bigger than road racing, bro.
But it's still the same. Jamie, correct me if I'm wrong on this. This is the only reason I say that. It's because you got to be the Jet Lawrence. You got to be Jet Lawrence to make it on that stage, right? It's just like motocrossers have that same aspiration that everybody else does in two-wheel sports. I want to make it to MotoGP. I want to make it to Supercross, right? But only the elite of the elite, Jamie will tell you, actually make it. And I'm not saying because of their talent.
Yeah.
Well, with what I've noticed the last couple years, it's I wouldn't say like to make it like you're saying, yeah, like the Jet Lawrences and the Eli Tomacs, and obviously everybody wants to reach to that point. But I feel like there's more opportunity in Supercross and Motocross just because of like even the privateers, like in road racing, it's so much more. It's so hard to be a privateer. And obviously in Supercross and Motocross, it's hard, but it's a lot.
Manageable.
Like it's a lot more realistic to be like, okay, I'm gonna get my own bikes. Like my boyfriend races Supercross and he does it all by himself, and he's able to make money throughout the year, whereas like in road racing, like you do not see that. Like no privateers actually make money from their racing because it's just
using debt, homeboy.
Like he makes enough to where he can, he lives off what he makes. Obviously, he's not like the Jet Lawrence with a big fancy car and anything, but he makes enough. Whereas in road racing, you don't see that. You see the top guys that get their stuff paid for and they're making money, but then the rest, out of the top 5, they're still paying.
They're paying.
They're paying to be on the
100%,
team. So
100%.
Yeah,
and it's big money too that they got to pay.
Yeah. So that's what sucks about the road racing side, because it's like realistically, if you don't have somebody paying your way on a team, you're not making anything.
Very difficult. Or you got a big sponsor that pays for a lot of stuff, which is very hard to do in road racing, Jamie. But what about motocross, right? Is it easier, in your opinion, to get sponsorships for motocross than it is road racing?
So depending on which side you want to go. for the men, I'd say yeah, it's probably a lot easier. Just because like Supercross right now is blowing up, so like everybody's just wanting to be a part of it in one way or another. For the women's side of things, it's really hard right now, just because I mean, for the last 5 years, we didn't even have a women's pro series.
Yep.
We finally got it back this year, but we are racing at amateur events, so we don't have, unless the amateur event is doing some type of live streaming, we don't get any TV time, and we're just kind of like piggybacking on the amateur events right now. We have 2 rounds that are alongside the pro series, but we race on Friday. So like the High Point National and the Ironman National, we race on Friday, not on Saturday. Yeah. So we won't get TV coverage. We won't, I mean, unless they post something on Instagram, but we won't get any coverage.
Not yet.
So like, what are people supposed to, I mean, they're not getting any publicity. So why are they going to put any money up, you know?
Yeah. Except for social media, right?
Yes.
As far as that goes. Yeah.
I mean, and with, like I said, there wasn't a pro series. So the last few years, women's racing on the motocross side has died down because a lot of girls will, once they graduate from high school, they're like, okay, well, we're out, right? Like, we're going to go to college. We're going to do our own thing. So like the level of the women's class hasn't been so high. There's maybe like 5, 6, 7 of us that are pretty good, and then the rest, like the level drops off quite a bit. So like, and that also goes and reflects to social media. So there might be a few of us that have a good social media following, but then besides that, then you have your, you know, there isn't much there. So I mean, hopefully we can grow the series, hopefully we can develop, but it's been pretty tough. But we'll see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, I would love to see you guys race against Eli Tomac and all that, just like we do in Moto America, right? No, seriously, I think it would help the sport. I think it would be good for the sport. I always ask that question: why don't they let the women race in motocross against the men, right?
Well, so that's the thing. A lot of people don't understand that it's not like Moto America or even flat track that you see Shayna Texter competing against the guys, and she's done very well for herself. Or Kayla doing well in super sport, even though that's a little bit of a bigger bike, it's heavier. But motocross is so much more physically demanding. We honestly physically just can't. Like I'm a big feminist. Like, yes, like we can do everything the men can do, like all day. But when it comes to motocross, you've seen it time and time again that when we're on smaller bikes on 85s, 65s, we can compete with the guys. We'll go to nationals and we'll finish within the top 10. A lot of younger girls have qualified for the Loretta Lynn National against the guys, and they've done well. And it's just once we get on the bigger bikes, we physically can't keep up. It's not skill level. It's not because like we're not smart enough on the bike. It's just it's so physical. The sport is so physical. We just can't. And there have been girls that have gone and raced. Jordan Jarvis, I don't know if you guys know who she is. She's a really, really fast rider. Probably the most accomplished girl here in the U.S. She tried to race the outdoor nationals the last 3 years, and she made it in. Like she qualified into maybe 3 motos, and she raced the entire series, and she's the fastest woman in the U.S. right now. So it just goes to show that we just can't. And it's happened time and time again, like over generations of girls that have gone on, they've done so well in the younger classes, and then when we get up into the bigger classes, we just can't. I mean, our women's motocross world champion Courtney Duncan, she's from New Zealand. That championship is in Europe. They run alongside the MXGP series. When she was younger on Super Minis, she was battling Cooper Webb. Like, she was legit, and obviously we know what Cooper Webb came out to be, right? And she was battling with him for wins at that point when she was younger, and she's women's world champion now. But if you were to put her up against Cooper Webb right now, it's not comparable. So,
all right, that's it, Chris.
It sucks, but that's just kind of how it is in our sport.
That's it, Chris. Legalize steroids. No, I'm kidding.
Legalize steroids.
Yeah,
legalize steroids.
And a lot of people don't understand that. Like, I'm a huge supporter for women's sports, like I said, and I've been a huge advocate to try to get the women's motocross series back here in the US and try to like just advocate. Like I even have my own race that I do. I build up a purse for the women's class and everything every fall. So I'm always posting stuff like that on my Instagram, and I'll get people all the time saying like, why don't you just race with the guys? And I'm like, I still do it. Like I race with the men at like the pro level, but like locally and stuff. Like for you guys would be club racing. Like I'll race the like pro expert class, and I can do it locally, but I can't do it nationally. Like it's just we've tried, and it's just we can't. So, but that's people just aren't educated in stuff like that. So they're just like, well, why don't you race with the guys? And I'm like, because we really can't.
It becomes more of a it becomes more of like a like an emotional argument than like a logistical one, and that's something that like I'm not trying to go deep into it because it will ruffle a lot of feathers, but like it is something that I definitely agree with you. But in any case, in the sport of motocross and supercross and stuff of that nature, the awareness of this sport existing is more popular here in the US, in my opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, than road racing is. Every time I mention motorcycle racing to somebody, it's always motocross, supercross. So I think the advantage of you guys, even though you're not racing with the pros, there is an opportunity for not only just for the sport of motocross, supercross to blow up even more, but for the women's division to blow up more because of the women's renaissance and the fact that it is motocross / supercross, and everybody knows what that is here in the US versus a Moto America versus a Moto, even a Moto. I'll even go as far as Moto GP. I go across the street right now. I ask the kid, "Yo, do you know what Moto GP is?" No. Like, do you know what motocross is? Hell yeah.
Be like, all you gotta say is Jet logo, Lawrence. Right? They'll be like, absolutely.
No, not even. Be like, oh yeah, I see the big monster logos.
Yeah. And
somebody asked me if this is a motocross jacket. Oh,
yeah. And that's why I also think that kind of the industry has seen that like, oh, everything's kind of blowing up, so that's why they brought the series back this year for us. But I wish they would have. I mean, obviously, we're starting fresh, we're starting new, so I know they can't do too much, right? Like, we all have to start from somewhere, just like the WNBA and just like all the women's leagues, they had to start somewhere. But I wish they would have put us more in like in the pro scene a little bit. That way, people could see us a little bit more. I just feel like we're kind of hidden. So, like, how are we supposed to start generating viewers and more fans if we're not really being seen? But I mean, we all had to start somewhere. I think the biggest thing they're looking for this year is just attendance of riders. The last few years that the WMX series was around, we maybe only had 5 girls do the entire series. So there would maybe be like 10 girls at each round, but they didn't do the entire series. So it was just kind of like, well, there wasn't enough girls, there wasn't enough riders. So I think that's what we're trying to build up this year. And luckily we've been averaging about 23, 25 girls at every round. So that's been something that's good. So hopefully they'll see that, and they'll for next year they'll do something better.
Man, time to post it on TikTok.
Yeah.
Time to call like the women influencers to come in and watch a race. Someone like who gets a lot of views? Freaking Blondie from YouTube. She gets millions of views. Freaking call her out, be like, yo, come through. But she's a road racer though. But I saw her doing some like MX stuff. So you know what I mean? Like yo, just be like, yo, you're a woman in the industry, you get millions of views, come through, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no, that'd actually be something good. We actually had NBC Sports come out and do an article with us at Daytona, because our first round was at Daytona. We'd raced on the amateur day, so we raced Sunday, Monday, and NBC Sports did a thing with us top 3 who finished top 3 after the race, and we got to talk with them, and it was I forget the guy's name, but it was him and his daughter also worked for NBC Sports, and they were just like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, like it's so awesome to see you girls out there. Like, we saw the guys yesterday, but like it was so awesome to see you girls go out there and race. So I feel like if more people like just watch, just like the WNBA, just like all these other women's sports, like once people start watching, they're like, oh yeah, this is actually pretty cool. So I think it just, people need to just watch us for a race or something, and they'll be like, oh, okay, this is pretty sweet.
So yeah, my question is how can tell us where we can actually go and watch you girls race. Like, I'm in Virginia, Jules is in New York, so we're actually in between you right now, right?
Yep.
Where can we actually go and watch you guys race live?
So I guess the best race for you guys would be the High Point National, which is in it's in Pennsylvania. I don't know what.
I can drive.
Yeah, like it shouldn't be too far for you guys.
Mm-mm.
I forget what the town is, honestly, so I couldn't tell
That's
you
okay.
like, oh, it's here. But the track is called High Point. I don't know if
High
it's
Point.
Morgantown.
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 I heard that whisper.
Yeah.
Tell him I said hello. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
But
what up?
That's probably the closest race to you guys there. I think that's it. We have another one in Pennsylvania, but that's closer to like Pittsburgh area. So that one's a little farther. But
Morgantown.
That'll be the closest one to you guys.
Yeah, it's not that far. Like from here to Jersey, to the racetrack, from Moto America, it's only 6 hours, not even 6 hours from my doorstep.
Okay.
So
Only 6 hours.
I mean, that's nothing.
You're
Atlanta, Georgia.
You're in Virginia, you said?
Yeah, I'm
then
in Roanoke, Virginia.
Close. It
Yeah.
should be super close to you. It shouldn't be more than 4 hours. No way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It takes me 2.5 hours to get to Philly. Maybe
Okay.
less.
I live 45 minutes outside of Philly. That's where I'm from.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I'm in the
actually gonna
Philly
take
area.
I'm actually gonna take a trip over there sometime within the next 2 weeks because there's a legendary boxing gym me and my friend want to check out. That's besides the point. So the drive doesn't sound that bad. All right, cool, awesome. Yo, we lit. Yo, Chris, we lit. I'm about to be like, yeah, let's go.
Yes.
Just have like your face
I
right
would
here. And
love
let's be
to-
like, yes.
yes.
Keep
yes.
keep in touch for sure, and I'll like give you guys the details and
I
everything.
will.
Date, times.
I will.
I want
I
a
will.
shirt.
I
I want
love.
to buy a hat. I want to buy.
Yeah, dude. So my thing, Jamie, is I love to support my friends that race. Like I would rather support you, buy your hat, buy your shirt, and support you because we're friends than go out and buy Mark Marquez as somebody that's all Jake Gagne. Somebody seriously,
Yeah,
somebody
his
that's
shit's
already
ugly
made
anyway.
it because it means more to me because I'm emotionally attached and emotionally involved, and that's my friend, and I want to see you succeed, right? So yes, absolutely. I sent you a Facebook request which you did not accept.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Boom! No, you're good.
I kept being on Facebook, but now that you let me know, I'll go back and look for it.
I'm just
Instagram,
joking.
got
Yeah,
it. Let me
I
do that
did.
right
No, I
now.
did on Facebook. I did for sure. But yeah, I messaged you my number, and actually, I'm gonna need your address anyway because I send everybody stickers, so you'll get some Penny
sweet.
Gas podcast stickers, which
Boom,
is
follow right
absolutely
now.
awesome. But yeah, it's good stuff, man. So when's your next race coming up?
I actually have a busy few weeks. I actually have to do the qualifiers for the Loretta Lynn National. I have to do my area qualifier is next weekend, and then I will go ahead and do the regional qualifier the weekend after. Like it's back to back. That was my fault. I procrastinated on getting to the area qualifiers, so I'm doing the very last one, last resort. But I got those two coming up. I don't know if I will race the national because I got a lot going on because that's the amateur national. Even though like that might sound confusing because even though I'm racing the pro series, us women we're allowed to race both. We're allowed to race the pro championship as well as the amateur national. So, but I don't think I'll do the amateur national. I'm going up to do the regional because it's actually at that High Point national race. It's at that track. So I just want to get track time before we go there for our WMX round. So we'll see if I do the amateur national or not, but I just wanted to get some track time, get used to that track, see what my bike's gonna do there and stuff like that. But so yeah, I got a busy few weeks, and then our next like pro round would be there as well, like that High Point National. It's in June, beginning of June, something like that. And then from there, I'm gonna be super busy. I have I race up in Canada as well. I do their women's pro series. So that's 5 weekends back to back during the summer. So in July, I'll race all of July up in Canada, and then I'll come back down and finish out the women's pro series here, which we have like another 4 or 5 races or something like that. So super busy summer and fall for me.
I love it. Let me ask
it.
you this, Jamie. I have this one question I've been thinking about. Is what's the difference between your mental game from road racing to motocross? Is it the same approach? as you prepare for the race, like training, mental, the way you train, the way you eat, all that? Is it different, or is it kind of sort of the same?
I would say for me at least, it's all stayed the same. Obviously, my training regimen and stuff like that has changed since road raced because I was obviously a lot younger. I not that I didn't take it as seriously, but I was like a kid. I could eat whatever and kind of do whatever, and I was still fine.
Right.
But I was I was still racing motocross when I was road racing. Like I was still doing both. So I was just training as if I was getting ready for a motocross race because to me at least, um, motocross or road racing wasn't as physical for me. So like I would just train to be like, okay, I'm going to do these motocross races. I need to prepare for that. And road racing because it wasn't so physical, I was just like, oh, I can do this with my eyes closed because I'm ready to go out and do a 30-minute motocross moto. So what's a 10-minute junior cup race to me? So it's always stayed the same, but that's just because I've done motocross throughout the whole thing and yeah. So I don't know. That would be a good question for somebody that maybe just road raced and did motocross separately. Maybe like Jake Gagne, that he's done like pro nationals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I would like to see what his answer for that would be. Like if he does have different training and what his mindset is going into like one or the other, because he completely like did one and then did the other. So
yeah, because exactly what you said, it's so much more physical motocross where it is, right? So your cardio and everything is just way up here. David Goggins style is what it is. That's what I refer to. God. Absolutely David Goggins style.
If David Goggins put his heart and soul into motocross, he'd be the greatest motocross racer of all time. Now, before I do have to leave soon because I got to pick up me mother from work. I actually want to steal this off of Hot Ones. I don't know if you watch Hot Ones. I'm a big Hot Ones fan.
I love Hot Ones.
Explain that, Graham. So I pulled up a picture on your Instagram. And I want you to just briefly explain this. Are you nervous?
No, I'm not because I'm pretty confident with all my Instagram posts. So I know it's not going to be nothing embarrassing.
You sure? Because I found something. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh, it could be something really old, like from when I was a little kid. So
very old.
Oh, jeez. Aw. Yeah, that was that'll be a memory that I'll never forget.
Is that Ashton Yates?
That's Ashton Yates.
That's
and
my dude.
Sean.
It's
I
Yates the
don't
mate.
know how to say his last name. But
Sean, wait, I'll butcher it. Where is it?
It starts with a Z.
Something crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Damn, I'll figure it out.
I don't want to say it because I know I'm gonna like completely destroy
Murder it. Jamie, I would absolutely.
Oh, look, there's Andrew. But yeah.
But
you
yeah,
wanna,
no. Yeah.
You want to explain this?
That was my first Moto America podium, Road Atlanta. It was that was my second year road racing. That was the first year that I was with Quarterly. It was the first round of the season. Well, it was actually our second day. So we had race one the day prior, and I finished fourth. And honestly, the year before that, when I raced the KTM Cup, I finished last in every race. I was getting lapped, and I kind of get why MP13 kind of dropped me because like I was terrible. I was so bad, and I told my parents like I want another shot at this, and if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it well. So literally that entire winter, we spent every single day at Jennings GP, just grinding out laps. I literally just did laps on an R3. It was just a stock R3. There was nothing on it. We just put like the fairings on it, and just I did laps all day long. Every day that they were open, I was there riding. And it was just me, my dad, and a freaking lap timer, a stopwatch. And it was just, the goal was just to get faster every single lap. And honestly, it paid off. It was a really tough winter because it was a lot of riding. I was super sore every day. And it paid off because honestly, we came back the first round and we went 4-3 on the weekend. Yeah. And it was pretty emotional. And that was honestly the beginning of what, like the next year. The year was so crazy. I was on every podcast, on every magazine, on every doing the like Makeup to Mud Supercross thing. Like I was everywhere, and everybody wanted to talk to me. And that was a really good year. I had a lot of good races that year, and it was a lot of fun.
That's
Sheesh.
awesome. So
It's just the happiness, you know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A little
I mean,
vibrant
even just the
happiness.
happiness now. Like I look back at that photo and I smile like a little kid again.
Love it.
Badass photo, man.
It is.
And it's so funny that we're seeing like a whole bunch of our mutual friends on this shit too. But all right, man, that's it from me. Yeah, fellas, I gotta go. So I
All right,
will be
Jules.
back. Pin the gas. I will be back now that me and Chris are low key on the same schedule.
Yes,
Ish.
finally. Yep.
Yeah. I'll be
Don't
back.
worry, Jamie. Me and you are staying here. He's just
Okay.
gonna
Yeah, you
go
guys
pick
are
up his
staying.
mom.
Sounds
Yeah. Me and you are
I'm
staying
gonna
here.
go. I'm gonna peace out. You know, I gotta do some motocross stuff myself. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yep. Get to it.
I'm too chicken shit. But anyway, all right. I'll see you guys at the next one.
Yep.
Peace
Yep,
out.
nice talking to you.
See ya.
Bye, Jules.
Yeah.
See ya. So let me ask you this: winning in Moto America, right, and then versus motocross, was this feeling the same?
In what way?
Like
what-
as far as winning for your first
okay.
Moto America, like you're like,
Yeah.
yes, I did it right. Is that the same as winning a race in motocross?
I guess so. Yeah.
Or was
Well,
it more satisfactory because you had to work so hard at it?
I think yeah, it was that moment was probably a moment that's stuck with me just because of like nobody believed in me and rightfully so. I did so bad the year before, like nobody expected that was how I was going to do, especially so fast into the season. Um like I said, me and my dad worked so hard and obviously me and my dad have worked really hard ever since I started racing cuz honestly motocross didn't come easy to me either. I when I first started racing motocross, I couldn't even qualify in the girls division to the amateur national. Like I was not like naturally I'm not good. I had to work really hard to be where I am. But at that like that one was really cool. Really cool for me just because like even it was against the guys too, right? Like against the women it's been cool and it's whatever, but like if you win you don't really stand out. It's just like you're another girl on top, right? But with the guys it was really cool because a lot of the guys were like, like we don't even have to worry about her. Actually, what's funny, I remember this. When I pulled into like behind the podium where we all sit down and just breathe for a second, I remember Ashton looking at me like, wait, what? Like you did not just get third. Like what? Like he did not expect it. He was so surprised. He was like, this is a mistake, right? Like that was funny. That was super funny to me. I was like, yeah, I finished third.
I was right there. I'm here, right? Yeah. You got to deal with me. Yeah, that's so. Do you talk to anybody from your road racing days at all? Still?
Not necessarily. I still talk to Dale. Like I don't really talk to much of the racers. Like if I see them and stuff, like I saw a bunch of them at Daytona. Like I saw Ashton at Daytona. And like if I see him around, like obviously, hey, what's up? Like it's nice to see you again. I actually saw Ben Glotty at the Massachusetts Supercross just randomly. I didn't even know he was gonna be there. But I saw him there, and yeah, if I see him, I say hi. How you doing? But I don't really stay in touch much. I stay in touch mostly with Dale Quarterly. He was such a big part of my life, such a big mentor. I still talk to him about my motocross races even. Like he'll see my results on Instagram or Facebook and he'll call me up and he's like, so how long did you cry for? Like he'll know if I had a bad race. He knows how I acted. So he was like, are you okay? Well, what happened? Tell me how'd the race go? So I still talk to him quite a bit. And yeah, but I don't really stay in touch with much of the racers because they're obviously we were much younger. They are doing their own things now and they're busy. But yeah, I've stayed in touch a little bit. But also, actually, that I wanted to get in touch with, or sorry, what I wanted to say, your question before, with motocross, I think it's been such like a long grind that it was my biggest accomplishment for me over on that side was going over to Europe and finishing top 10 in a world championship race because it's the best women in the world, right? Like that's the world class level. And that one to me was kind of like I cried. My parents cried on that one too. Like it was, even though it wasn't a win, it's like it's a world championship level. Like that's something completely different. And I feel like even though it wasn't like we didn't freak out as much as we did with Moto America, but it was more of like an emotional thing where it was like we've been doing this for 18, 19 years and like this was the goal at the end was like to be one of the best in the world, and like we've done it. Like we're obviously not world champions. We're not winning at the world class level, but we're there. We're in the top 10, and like we can say like we're in the top 10. So like that was pretty cool too. But that's obviously a different feeling. That was way more emotional because it was like we spent so many hours, so many years, so many tears, so much blood, sweat, everything, and like that was pretty cool too. So it's definitely there's emotions on the motocross side because it's been so long that I've been doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're an absolute legend. Absolute legend. Yeah, it's I could only dream of being somewhere like that, right? I couldn't even imagine. Like I get so emotional when my friends do good in a race. Like I'm over there like you, I'm crying like a little kid and sobbing, right? Maybe not in front of them because I don't want to be made fun of, but deep down inside, I'm sobbing like a little kid, right? I'm like, yes, let's go. Oh my God, so yeah, I get it. It's that's awesome. Jamie, that's absolutely proper. I love it. I love it. So I know you're proud of yourself and your accomplishments, and I know your parents are too. It's so what's next?
I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, I just graduated from college. My graduation was last weekend. Bachelor's of Science in Sports Management. So
Congratulations.
thank you. But so kind of, I'm just gonna finish out the year racing. I have a few freelance jobs that I'm doing. I work for a small company called BlueStar.com. We cover all women's racing, mostly like off-road and motocross. That's what we're focused on. So I do like weekly articles or weekly race reports and stuff like that for them. I do their social media. So I'm kind of doing that now alongside just racing and training because I'm still very focused on the WMX championship here and the one in Canada. So I'm going to try to finish out the year with that. And then I don't know. I think it might be time. Might be time to like, do some other stuff and maybe not as race so much, at least like so seriously. Unfortunately, like that time comes for everybody. But if I were to get an opportunity to keep racing full time, I'd love to. But it's just kind of like it's time to grow up a little bit. Done with college, done with school. So unfortunately, that might be the road I'm heading into. I just got to figure out where I go next. I'd love to stay in the industry somehow, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, I have no doubt you will. I honestly, I don't. I think you'll be here for the long haul for sure, right? And you won't even realize it, right? So let me ask you this. I ask everybody this question: how does Jamie mentally and physically prepare for a race? Oh, and I kind of asked you that earlier, but like as far as like, do you listen to a certain type of music before you put your helmet on? Do you put your left boot on before your right boot? Any kind of superstitions like that?
Superstitions, no. But I have noticed that like I don't want anybody to talk to me. I don't like people get amped up with music. I'd rather just kind of like be in silence, just kind of do my own thing. Like I might just like scroll through my phone, like go through Instagram, just like scroll, right? Like just I want to be in my own space, in my own peace. Like I've done a lot of my racing with my dad, and he likes to talk a lot to me right before the gate or like we're in staging and stuff like that. But like I'm just like, please no, like just don't talk to me. Like I just want to be left alone. And yeah, like I like my own space. People might like see me as like really grumpy or mad or just like I might be cocky because I don't like to talk a lot. But that's not it. It's just I like to be in my own space and I don't want any distractions. Just kind of leave me alone. I like to do my own thing. So yeah, that's kind of how I am.
That's awesome. And who is your favorite motocross racer today? Not in the past, but right now.
Right now. Right now, I honestly don't know. I've had a few favorites. Like probably all-time favorite would be like Jeffrey Hurlings. Just seeing him how he rides in the sand is like absolutely insane. I watched so many YouTube videos of just him riding in sand, especially just because it's like, wow, how does he do that?
Right.
I don't feel like I have a favorite right now, but like honestly, like this might just be like the most cliche answer, but like honestly, like Jet Lawrence, seeing how he is doing stuff that like nobody has ever done. Just like it's crazy. It's more of like, I wouldn't say a favorite rider, but more of like, wow, like it's astonishing to see what he does, and it's cool to like obviously try to implement what I've seen from him in my own writing, right? So that's kind of where I'm at. Like it's in two incredible writers that are very talented at what especially they're good at. Like Jeffrey is really good in the sand. Seeing him ride the sand, and I mean Jet can ride literally anything good. So
Jet is absolutely amazing. He is. He's one of those riders like Mark Marquez when he come in, Valentino Rossi when he come in, right? He set the bar up higher. And it's not only that, it's their whole personality too, right? You could be super fast and all this, but if you're just an absolute dick,
true.
They're like, yeah, he's fast, but who cares, right? Versus you have that certain personality, and Jet's like that, right? He comes in, he's got all the women flock after him, all the guys want to be him.
Yeah,
he's that next. And not only that, he just steps up the game. He elevated it so much. It's everybody's trying to play catch up, even right now as we speak. It's simply amazing to watch. It's like what Jill said earlier. It's I'm so honored in this lifetime to be able to see FIM All Women's Championship. Women getting really recognized for what you guys should have been recognized for years and years and years, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love it. We're in a great spot right now, I think, and it's only going to go up and up and up. So yes, absolutely. Well, listen, we're about an hour into this, right? And I've had nothing but the amazing time. I would love to sit down with you again after your national and all that, and we can talk about that and go over that. But I want to talk about, this is my favorite part of the interview right here coming up, Jamie. So I like to ask people a lot of personal questions, so people get to know racers and riders on a personal side, not just your career and your riding and all that good stuff. So I want to start off by asking you, what is Jamie's favorite movie?
My favorite movie? Oh my gosh, this is kind of embarrassing. It's Mamma Mia, the original one. That's all-time favorite movie. Me and my mom, we used to watch that movie. We'd play it on repeat in our RV. Like we'd go and like ride on the weekends or whatever when I was like younger, and we'd just have that on repeat all day. I'll be in and out of the camper like riding and stuff, and it's still going. I think it was why it was like that was because it was the only DVD that we had. It's the only thing that we could play on the TV. So she was like, okay, well, we might as well just leave it on. So, but it became like our thing, and we love it. We've been saying that we have to go to Greece at some point and just like visit the actual islands that it was filmed on. But that's my all-time favorite movie. Yeah.
I love Greek, and I love Greek food, and I want to go to Greece. So yes, Mamma Mia is a really good movie, but all those things, I'm with you, Jamie. Absolutely. I'm with you. Tell us something that we don't know about Jamie.
Oh gosh. I feel like I don't know. I feel like that's hard. I feel like I put a lot out there, like on Instagram. Like my life isn't very chaotic, or I don't know how to put it, but
like you don't like cooked carrots, right? Something like that. There's got to be something nobody, we don't know about you.
I'm trying to think of something good. Like I don't want to give you something like, oh yeah, like I don't like this certain type of food, because like that's just boring. I feel like I want to give you something good.
Okay.
I guess I have a nephew that's from the Dominican Republic. So like I have family kind of like all over the place. I have a brother that was born and raised in Ecuador. My dad, like I said, is born and raised in Ecuador, and then he came here as well. And then my mom's from Costa Rica, so I have a bunch of family in Costa Rica. I have a bunch of family in Ecuador. I have a nephew that's from Canada. I have family in Canada, but they're from Ecuador, and then they migrated to Canada. And so I have cousins that were born in Canada, but also are Ecuadorian. So like my family's all over the place, but we're all family, so we end up trying to see each other somehow and at some point. So we're all over the map.
I love it. Family to me is the most important thing anyway, right? And man, what a change though from Ecuador to Canada. That's like
Yeah.
hot, going to super, super
Oh,
cold,
yeah.
right? I'm
Yeah.
sure that was a period of adjustment. They're like, step out the car, like, oh my God, are you kidding
Yeah.
me right now?
Yeah. Well, Ecuador shifts a lot. So where my dad is from in Ecuador, he's kind of like in the mountains, but also like in this valley. So where he's from, it doesn't get super hot.
Okay.
So I guess like obviously it's still such a change because Canada's freaking winter almost like what 6 months out of the year, even more than that. Um, but but it's not like people kind of think like Ecuador is like tropical, which it has its parts, but a lot of it too is like since it's in the mountains, it's not as hot as people think.
Yeah.
So, fun fact.
I love it. I learned something. This is awesome, right? So tell us, what is your worst habit?
My worst habit, honestly, biting my nails. I'm a
I
nail
love
biter.
it.
I'm a
I
nail
love
biter.
it. Yes, yes. I used to be. I stopped. My wife was kept on, and finally, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stop. So yeah, every once in a while, I still find myself because it's such a habit. Jamie, you know, it's such a habit, especially when you get nervous and
Yep.
all that. So do you still get nervous before every race, like the very beginning, when you did started? And the reason why I asked that is because since I've been doing this podcast, Jamie, I get just as nervous and just as excited as the very first time I go on camera, right? Which is crazy. But that just shows me my intensity and my love and such passion for it that it's I get the same butterflies in my stomach, right? Is that the same with you?
Yeah, I'd say my nerves have shifted in a way. I think now I'm more like I want to do good, not so like I know people have nerves of like, oh my gosh, like what if something happens? Like there's a lot of people that get like nervous like that, like but I just like I have this set expectation for myself and I want to fulfill it. Like I've had a lot of bad races in my time and I hate the feeling of failure and I just like I get very emotional. Like I've put obviously so much time and effort into this sport that like I can't not that I can't deal with it, but like I just completely beat myself down if I don't do well. Like it means so much to me. That's how I'll put it. It means this sport means a lot to me. So when I don't do how I hoped or you know, I don't do as good as I wanted to, I get really upset. And so like I hate that feeling. So I just like and I think that's also a bad thing. Like you can't think about that too much, but like I like think about it sometimes where like I don't want to feel that after a race, you know? Like I don't want to have those feelings. So like and I get nervous that like I got to do good because I just don't want to hate I don't want to have that feeling of just like sadness. I just, you know, like that's been my biggest issue because I think that's been getting to me a lot actually, and it's been affecting me in ways because it's just I'm so scared of feeling that emotion. I want to just be happy, but I can't be happy if I don't do well. Like I know there's people that are able to like have that switch of like, okay, like I didn't do good, let's think about it and move on. But like for me lately, it's just been so tough. If I don't do well, it's just kind of like like I don't know, like it hasn't been good.
Yeah, I'm my own worst critic too. Absolutely, I am. It's yeah, I beat myself up quite often too much, and even my son's like, "Dude, you gotta tone it down, man.
Yeah.
You're awesome, right? Like, yeah, you're good, you're good." So let me ask you this: I'm a big book reader. Well, I say that I'm a big audio book reader, right? I love audio books. I actually am reading one book now. Okay, and I do this because my good buddy Andy Ibbett, I got to give him a shout out. He has this new book called MotoGP Performance Riding Techniques, right? It's absolutely so I am reading this on paperback, but 99.999% of the time I am audiobooks, right? So I listen to a lot. What are you currently listening to?
Lately I haven't listened or read too many books just because like with school that's what's been taking up a lot of my time. But I love books. I was a little nerd when I was growing up. Like one of my brothers would always tell me like he didn't like school. So like when he saw me reading, he'd be like, "Ew, why are you doing that?" Like like go do something else, right? But I loved books growing up. So I actually the last time that I had some free time before now. So like now I'm gonna be reading all the time. But the last break I had, so I guess it was like like spring break or whatever, the new Hunger Games movie came out, right? Like it didn't come out too long ago, and I read the entire series. Like because the new like last book came out, like that movie, I was like, the Hunger Games came out like what, like almost 10 years ago now or something like that. And I was like, okay, I gotta refresh. I read the entire series. I watched all the movies. I was a big Hunger Games fan when I was a kid, still am. So I was like, I full like deep dived. That's all I was doing for like a solid like week, 2 weeks. I read all of them.
I love it. I love it. I tell everybody this, one of the best books that I've ever listened to is John Hopkins' Leather. It MotoGP racer, right? But Jamie, it's one of those books where he lays it all on the line. All the good, all the bad, talks about smoking weed and jumping on the Suzuki MotoGP bike and the alcoholism and the pain pill addiction and just all that in such depth detail. I was like, bravo. Like it's you listen to or you read autobiographies on people, and it's like you get this sense of they leave a lot out, right? It's only like this one story that they want to get over to you and let you hear, where John just like Nikki Hayden, one of my favorite writers of all time, lays it out. I'm all in, right? This is me. This is it. This is the actual story. I highly recommend. Absolutely highly recommend it. And then I did Adrian Bourdain's one of his cooking books, and I was absolutely hooked. Like it was one of those books I'm like, okay, I gotta listen to another chapter. Okay, just a few more minutes. It's 2:00 in the morning. I'm like, I gotta get up in 3 hours, right? So yeah, it's really good. So music, Jamie, what kind of music are you listening to?
I'm very basic when it comes to music, like radio, whatever is like the pop music that's on the radio. My favorite artist right now is Tig McRae. I don't know if you know who that is.
I've heard.
Yeah, so she's obviously like younger. I think she's only 19, 20 years old right now, but like her album is on repeat right now. Like I know that's gonna come off as like very basic, and everybody's gonna be like, wow, like that's very like 20 girls right now. And like, yeah, like that's what I listen to right now.
Hey, nothing wrong. I listen to all kinds of music. One of my favorites that I've really gotten into a lot lately is Frank Sinatra.
Okay.
Frank is just, I don't know, it's awesome. It really is. I like, but yes, I like country too, like Morgan. Who don't like Morgan Wallen, right? Let's just be honest. Yeah, all that good stuff. So I was telling my buddy says, oh, you listen to dad music. And I was like, what do you mean by that? And he's like, yeah, when I refer to dad music, that's the music I grew up listening to, my dad would listen to. And I was like, man, this is great music, you know? So favorite comedian.
Oh my gosh. I have a couple.
Okay.
I love Fluffy.
Yeah.
He's great. I guess I can relate to a lot of his jokes just being Hispanic and stuff like that. So like his jokes are really funny because it's like, yes, that happens in my family all the time, right? Like those are pretty good. I love Tiffany Haddish. She's just super funny. And then also I forget this girl's name. This is so bad. She's one of my favorites, but like I always forget her name. She just got a late night show.
Oh, brain fart.
She's young. She's got blonde hair.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I just can't.
So bad.
I feel
Taylor
like I should
Tomlinson.
Yes.
She's good too. She's really good. I really like her.
Awesome. I love it. I ask everybody this because I grew up Star Wars or Star Trek.
Oh, probably honestly Star Wars, just because like I've never watched much of both, but like I know more about the Star Wars characters than I do the Star Trek. So we'll just go Star Wars.
What Star Wars character would Jamie be?
Honestly, I don't know because I don't know them that well. But I will say, my nephew, he's only 4 years old, and he has like these big brown eyes, and we say he looks just like the baby Yoda.
Love it.
I I know, like Baby Yoda, you're probably thinking like, wait, so like, is this little kid like kind of like ugly or
green
something?
with the ears like this? Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, no, he's super cute, but it's just the big brown eyes were like, he looks like Baby Yoda. So
Yeah, you're right. You know, you see them babies, and it's like their head's unproportioned to their eyes. So yes, but
Yeah.
they're absolutely adorable. Yes, good stuff. So Jamie, I'm big into food. So I grew up, of course. I lost a lot of weight over the past year and a half. I weighed, dude. I was in a size.
Congratulations.
Listen, I was in a size 40 waist. I wear a 34 right now.
There you go.
And it's
Nice.
all exercising, changing my whole diet. Grew up, my mom loves to cook. So over the years growing up, I'd watch my mom cook, but I'd never say nothing about it. Then here I am. I get, older, get married, get a house, have a kid. Next thing I know, I'm cooking. I'm calling my mom up going, hey, mom, I'm making this thing. But what did you do last time when you did this? And my mom's like, holy shit, you paid it. Like you know how to cook. You paid attention. I'm so happy. Right. So, and I love all kinds of food. I mean, you name it, Greek food, Thai food, Indian food, spicy food, the hot ones. We mentioned that. We'll talk about that here in a minute. So what is your favorite food? And do you cook?
I do cook a little bit. I wouldn't say like I cook for fun because I don't. I cook to get by, right? Like, but honestly, I grew up on Hispanic food. Like I said, my family's Hispanic, so that's honestly like rice and beans. I know that's so basic for Hispanic people, so don't come at me.
It's so good.
White rice and black beans. That's it. And then any type of protein. If you like, now that like I'm older and I'm racing, I like to eat chicken a lot more. I'm not too I try to stay away from steak as much. But any type of protein with some rice and beans. Oh, and some avocado. Best meal. I couldn't ask for more. Basic, but super good.
I'm a huge fan. Me and my wife. I honestly, I could say Mexican's probably my favorite food. If I had to pick one thing, probably eat for the rest of my life because it's so good. I love the chorizo and the pineapple and avocado is absolute. Like you could go out, Jamie. I could buy 10 avocados and I'm gonna sit there and eat every single one of them. Like just pit it. Put it out, little salt, maybe just a little salt with some fresh lime. If you got to put cilantro, why not add the cilantro? But just that, it's to me, it's one of the best foods in the world is avocado. Absolutely love it.
I could eat it with just like you said, some salt and with a spoon straight out of like the just like that. That's all I need.
I love it, man. It's good. And so the hot ones. I'm a huge fan of the hot ones. I've been watching. Me and Jules actually talked about this. We're like, man, one time when we do an interview, we need to talk to our guests and we need to kind of do like that hot wings thing with our guests. I was like, you know what? That's kind of a cool idea, right? So I like spice, right? And I personally have the Last Dab hot sauce, and yes, I eat it.
Oh wow,
it's hot. Have you ever tried it?
No, I have not.
Okay, so what's your level of spice then?
Depending. Honestly,
the mood.
Not even the mood, but it's like I can, when it comes to like obviously like Mexican food, not all Hispanic food, but like Mexican food, obviously they eat a lot of spicy food, but like spicy food or like jalapenos and stuff like that, I'm pretty good with. Like you can give me like pretty spicy stuff and I'm okay, but like if you take me to like a wings place and you give me like their medium sauce, I can't take it. Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm just like, give me the hottest salsa you got, and I'm good. But if you give me freaking medium sauce on wings, I can't do it.
You're like, oh my God, what are you kidding me right now? This is hot. This is horrible.
When I don't know if they have. Do they have Zaxby's in Virginia?
Yes.
Yes, I get wimpy. Like I literally get wimpy. Like what?
Right. That's so. I didn't always like spice, Jamie. It's something that it grew on. So what really started with me, like I've tried hot sauce and I was just like, it's just not for me. Like as soon as I tried, like you, I was the wimpiest of the wimpiest. I can't do it. Right. So my cousin goes to Thailand, marries a Thai woman and brings her back, right? Bond. She's absolutely amazing. So she's like, it's my first really experience with Thai food too. She's like, oh, come on over. We're going to make this Thai food. So I come over there and I take a couple bites. And next thing I know, I'm like, holy shit. Like I can't even eat. Right. And then I kept going back. Next thing I know,
builds tolerance. Yeah.
It's good. Like I'm and then I'm asking for more hot sauce, and everybody now I'm out eating by far on the scale of hot, right? So I went to Buffalo Wild Wings. Everybody's got a Buffalo Wild Wings. And my buddy was like, I'll give you $30 if you order the hottest wings. I'm like, bet, no problem. He's like, you got to eat 6 of them without drinking anything. I'm like,
Oh my God.
no problem. Bang them out. I make them look easy. Not going to lie. Absolutely hot. But I was holding it back because I need my $30, right? So he's like, man, you make it look easy. I'm going to do it. So he attempts to eat one. And he's like, I made a terrible mistake. Like, I don't see how you do this, right? And then 3 days later, he calls me. He's like, Simcoe, I hate you. Like, I'm never going to eat wings with you again. This is horrible, right? Yeah. So, yeah, my level of spice. That's something, man. That's actually a good idea. Chicken wings. And yeah, cool. Anyway, listen, celebrity crush, Jamie. Everybody's got one. Who is Jamie's celebrity crush?
Celebrity crush. I don't know if I have one right now, but like honestly, when anybody asks me that, like I'll go back to when I was like 10 years old, High School Musical was playing, you know, Zac Efron. Honestly, he looks a little different now, but like when somebody says celebrity crush, like that's who's in my head. Like Zac Efron when he was playing High School Musical, like back in the day. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. So people ask Salma Hayek all day. Ask me every Salma Hayek. It's or Eva Menendez, either one. Yeah. They're my absolutely gorgeous. Let me ask you this: what advice would Jamie give her younger self?
I'd say I wouldn't tell myself to try harder because I feel like I did what I could with what I had. But I feel like I would have maybe said like there's a lot more out there. Like you don't have to stay stuck in the same place or like do more research because I feel like now that I've gotten older, like a couple years ago I trained with I don't know if you know much about like motocross history, but Ronnie Tishner. I don't know if you know that name.
Yeah.
But he was great motocross, supercross. Like it was really good. And I started training with him, and it was my first time really training with somebody that had a lot of knowledge, especially at like a really high level. And that was maybe a few like 2-3 years back, and I was already older, right? I had already not passed my time of like where I was soaking everything in, but like a lot of kids now start training with people like that when they're very young, and I was already 18, 19 years old. And just the little time that I trained with him for about a year and a half, or 2 years, but just like instantly the changes were huge. And I just feel like I would have been able to like maybe not tell my parents, but like in a way been like, let's try something different. Let's try to do something instead of just like me and my dad. Because like my dad, he's taught me a lot, but also he raced, but he wasn't a racer at a high level, right? So he taught me what he knew and he watched and tried to help me with what he could. But there was a point where like my talent was above his, and it was kind of more just like get on the gas, like go faster, right? Instead of like teaching me the base or like the fundamentals or like, oh, this will happen if you do this, or you know. So like there was a point like where I needed a little bit more, and I needed something else. So like I feel like it was kind of more just like, you know, research, do a little bit more research, try to find new things, try to do something different from an earlier age. So.
Yeah, that's absolutely. What series are you binge watching right now that you could recommend to people, or is there any?
Ooh, I watched The Circle. I'm a big Circle fan. I just watched that, and honestly, that's probably about it. I go through Netflix so fast.
Me too, right? Me too. So, me and my wife were currently watching Ozark. I've heard so much about Ozark. Everybody's like, "Yeah, watch Ozark," because Breaking Bad to me is like one of the best series ever made, right? So they're like, "Watch Ozark." Ozark's really good. And then we watched on Amazon, and I think you would like it because a lot of my other girlfriends like it too. Is oh my god, Circle of Time on Amazon Prime. It's kind of like The Witcher,
Okay.
right? It's kind of where you got the witches and all that cool stuff. It's just a really good story, right? To me, that's everything. If it's a really good story versus action packed, just blowing shit up all the time. I mean, yeah, the special effects is cool, right? But I want that story, right? I want to feel like I'm part of a journey, instead of just.
I'm big into like supernatural. So like,
Yes.
what was it, like the Vampire Diaries, and when they did the new Sabrina the Teenage Witch stuff on Netflix not too long ago, like that, I eat that stuff up.
You sound just like my wife. Matter of fact, my wife just got done binge watching that whole Supernatural. There was like how many 14 seasons or some shit like that with it. It was a
Like,
lot.
Yeah, like the Vampire Diaries, they had 3 different like they had like the however many seasons of Vampire Diaries, and then they had 2 shows after that, like 2 completely different shows, but like we're still kind of like in the same story, and each one of those shows had like 4 or 5 seasons. So yeah, there is a lot to that show.
She was like literally for like months just binge watching these shows. I'm like, are you still watching? She's like, no, it's exactly what you just said. I couldn't keep up. She's like, I'm like, but it kind of looks the same to me. She's like, shh, go play PlayStation or something. Go play with your bike. Do something, right? So yeah, trust me, I totally get it. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, Jamie?
I really hope I'm still in the industry somehow, whether that's even if it's not like in pro racing, like in an industry somehow, or like in a job or working within the industry there, like even if it's locally. Like I said, I'm kind of doing my own race in the fall. I did it last year, right? Like I'm fundraising for it. I'm trying to build up a purse for the women's class, and I was doing a lot of talking to sponsors and doing like social media stuff with that, and I hope to, like, even if it's involved somehow with racing and promoting women's, especially women's moto. I love, like I said, I love women's sports. In any way I can promote it and help it grow, I want to be able to do that. So I hope in 5 years I'm still doing that and and really making a difference, especially in the women's moto community. Even if it's moto, road racing, whatever it is, as long as I'm helping women have it easier than I did in the sport. That's what I want to do, because it's definitely been tough, not just for me, but especially all the girls in my like generation of racing, right? Because before WMX fell through, there was a great WMX series back in the day with Ashley Follick, Jessica Patterson. They had full on rides, full factory rides, and they were living off their racing and stuff like that. So kind of like when I was about to turn pro is when kind of everything fell through, and I grew up homeschooled, training full time and all that stuff, because my goal was to make a living out of the sport. And then kind of when it was my turn to step up, and there was a bunch of us that did the same thing, and when we were about to step up, everything fell through. So like for us, it's been really, really hard, and I don't want that to happen again to the girls that are coming in the future. So that's the goal, to make sure that it's easier for them.
I love it. And I can't wait to see the progression in the future of it, because it's absolutely going to succeed 100%. I have that feeling. Yeah, I do too. I really do. Man, we're like an hour and a half into this. This is awesome. I love it. I had such a good time. I got 2 more questions for you, and then I'll let you give all your shout outs, because I'm highly interested in you send me your information, and I'll start putting it out on my pages too, as far as your women championship and all that, because I want to help you.
Sounds good.
I want to see it progress too as well, because it's super important. Absolutely. Just as important as us goofy men is in the sport. You guys are just as probably more important at this stage, and just in my opinion, because I think it would help bring outside sponsorships and new sponsorships and new faces, new fans, new families involvement. It's good stuff. So if you could choose one superpower, what superpower are you choosing?
Honestly, like being able to transport like super fast. Like I hate being in airplanes. Like I hate airplane rides. Like I'm okay with them, but like I just like hate sitting for so long. It's like if I could just like snap my finger and like be ready and just be there and everything, like that would be so easy.
So you've never flown? You've been out of the country, right?
No, yeah,
Okay.
like I said, I've raced the world
Yeah.
championship. I did that for 3
Right.
years, so I've flown a lot. Even when I was racing Moto America, because I was doing both motocross and road racing, I was flying all over the country. Like I and my family being from all over the place, I
Yeah.
have to fly to see family like on
Yeah.
vacations and stuff like that. So, but I hate it. Like I absolutely just like I'd rather just snap my fingers and be there. Literally, like it's not even a preference of being like flying or in the car. It's just like I just hate it. I hate traveling places. Like I just want to be there.
Yeah. A little bit impatient on that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I see I'm the opposite. So my dad was a fighter pilot in the Navy. He did what Tom Cruise did in Top Gun. Now he's been with United Airlines since like 1980. So I've
Oh,
flown.
wow.
I've been in airplanes. Honestly, I feel safer in an airplane than I do in a car sometimes, right?
Okay.
And I guess the only reason why I said it because I've done it so much, and I guess when you're at 40,000 feet, you got to kind of accept the fact that if something really does go wrong, that's it. There's no like, it's kind of one of the like. So I used to be scared of heights. I've never said this, Jamie. You're gonna hear this as everybody else.
Oh man.
Something that nobody ever knows about me is I was absolutely terrified of heights. Like I would not get on the roof. I'm like, nope, I ain't getting up there. I don't give a shit. You put $1 million up there. I'm not doing it. Right.
Yeah.
So what's the best thing you can do to come over your fear? Skydiving. Right. So I went skydiving, and I'm gonna tell you, I was scared shitless. Like I wanted to back out. I wanted to quit. I wanted to just crawl up in that ball and just cry myself to sleep. No,
Yeah.
no lie, right? I mean, let's just be honest. I did it. To me, it was once I broke through that barrier, and I was like 20 at the time, 2021. And I was like, holy shit, if I can do that, then I can do anything, right? Like after
Yeah.
that, like I pushed past that boundary. Now, yeah, I'll get on the roof. Yeah, I'll climb a tree, right? But am I still timid on the heights? Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
But what I tell myself, Jamie, is, dude, you just jumped out of 12,000 feet. You can climb 20 feet in the air, right? So
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
one of those type of deals, which is good. So last question I have for you is what's your spirit animal?
My spirit animal. That's honestly such a good question. I don't know what my spirit animal would be. Though I am gonna say I don't think the bulldog reflects me in any way because I'm nothing like a bulldog, but like we're a bulldog family like through and through. Um, we've had 3. If you walk into my house, there's little figurines or little statues or like there's bulldogs everywhere. So I mean, I love the bulldog. If I could be a bulldog, I would definitely be a bulldog. Like they live the best life. At least my bulldogs, they live the best life ever. Yeah. So I don't know. I guess a bulldog.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I love dogs too. I got uh okay, I had 2 dogs recently. I just put one of my dogs down.
Oh, I'm
That was
sorry.
only 6 years old. Oh, it absolutely devastated me. But yeah, it's yeah, dogs are the most amazing creatures in the world, right? And I'm a big pit bull fan, right? I mean, I love all dogs, right? Let's just be honest. French bulldogs, pit bulls, all of
Yeah.
them, Labradors, it don't matter, right? Bring
Yeah,
them to me. I just
exactly.
want to pick them up, hug them, love on them, kiss on them, and yeah, it's absolutely amazing. But Jamie, this has been a lot of fun. I hope you
Yeah, for
enjoyed
sure.
yourself too. Good
I'm
stuff.
sorry?
Good. I said I hope you enjoyed yourself too.
Oh yeah, no, I did. It was a lot of fun.
Good. Looking forward to doing this again. But before
Yeah, of course.
we get off here, I'll send you a message with just stay on with me when I end this, and we'll talk just for a brief more second. But tell everybody, Jamie, where they can find you on social media, how they can follow you, how they can support your event coming up, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so on social media, I'm just at Astudillo 469. I'm pretty sure it is. It's either 49 or 46 or 469. I'm always changing it, but if you put my last name, you'll find me. Facebook as well, just Jamie Astudillo. And like I kind of touched on, I'm racing the WMX championship here in the U.S. and in Canada. So the series up north in Canada is called the Triple Crown Series. So just look for them on Instagram if you want to keep up with that. The WMX Championship here in the U.S. is their Instagram is Race WMX, so you can find information about our series and where we're racing on there. And then also my race. It's in the fall. It's October 12th and 13th. It's in Pennsylvania. It's in Birdsboro, Pennsylvania, at Pagoda Motorcycle Club, kind of right outside of Philadelphia. It's like 20 minutes from where I live. It's actually a pro-am event for the guys. So there's like some purse money for the guys in the pro and expert class. And then I just kind of decided like, hey, like I want to put some money up for the girls. So I've been working on that. I am raising funds. I actually just started like posting it on my social media and stuff like that this week. So we're looking for sponsors. We're looking for all the help we can get. Last year I raised about $5,500 plus whole shot awards. And then even for the little girls class, which is like it's from 9 to 13 years old or something like that, and they race the smaller bikes. I got a bunch of giveaways. I was giving out oil, free like gear kits, hats, goggles, whatever I could get. I gave to them too. So we're looking for all the sponsors we can get, all the help that we can get, whether it's money for the purse, giveaways for the younger girls, whole shot awards, whatever it may be. I even want to try to get some type of try to do a raffle of some sort with some type of, whether it's a pit bike or a bicycle or something. That way I can raise the purse up for the women's class as well. But with that, just reach out to me on any of my social media, and well, I do have sponsorship tiers, so you'll get all the publicity that you could possibly want with sponsoring the event. So that's it for me.
I love it. And actually, I got 10 quarts of brand new KTM power oil that I can box up and send to you. I'm never going to use it. It's something that I will absolutely help you out and donate to you. I just need your address. We'll talk here in a minute. But listen, this has been an absolute blast, an absolute honor to have Jamie on. And I still get nervous when I reach out to guests to have them on. Like when I reach out to you, hello, my name's Simcoe from Pendergast. It'd be an honor to get you on, right? I never know the response I'm gonna get back, and it just it's amazing. It's an absolute honor. I have to give my couple shout outs too. Yes, it was absolutely. Yes. So my shout out, the Clothing Kings, my man Martin at the Clothing Kings. You guys can go to theclothingkings.co.uk and order any Pendergast merch. We got hats, beanies, t-shirts, body warmers, soft shell jackets, all that good stuff. Listen, I'm sponsored by Bison, my first sponsorship. Big shout out to Bison Leathers. Anybody looking for a leather suit, whether it's custom, street riding, or just a jacket, gloves, whatever it is, chest protector, undersuit, please look no further. Robert and Tashalaki are absolutely amazing. Their products are absolutely amazing. So please go out and look them up. One more big shout. Well, not one more, but my buddy Tate from 64 Degree Racing. Jamie, check this out. He made this and sent it to me. This custom undersuit. Yes, it's absolutely amazing. He sent it to me to try on, and it's listen, I've had a lot of undersuits, and this is absolutely my favorite undersuit. I'm not just saying that because it actually it works. It keeps me cool, it keeps me dry. I can move really freely in it, and it's so comfortable. It's one of those things, Jamie. You know, you've had many helmets, many dirt bike boots, and gloves, and jerseys, and chest protectors, necks, and all this, right? And there's those ones that you put on, and you forget you even wearing it. And you're like, holy shit, this is like the best thing ever, right? And you can agree to that.
Sure.
And yes, this is absolutely one of them. I need to give a big shout out to my buddies in SFL Mini GP in South Florida. I don't know if you ever heard of them. They work. Okay, so big shout out. Good Juju and Avery the Lap Slay and all them. Yeah, so big shout out to them. For anybody is just in learning to ride, or race, or just ever wanted to realize your dream of dragging a knee, listen, there's no excuses. All you got to do is register and sign up. You don't even need to bring a helmet, boots, gloves, and nothing. They provide all that. You register, you sign up. SFL Mini GP in South Florida. You can guys thank me later. Big shout out to Juju, my man Julian Carrera in the British Talent Cup, first win of this year. Oh my God, Jamie, you talking about exciting? I was absolutely ecstatic. Screamed my head off. So proud of him. Absolutely So big shout out to him. Big shout out to my man Jake Marsh and R&D Racing out there in BSB. He has a club called Club 45. Please sign up. Go show him all his love and support. He's an absolutely rising legend, just like Jamie herself, just like Juju and everybody else. But yes, listen, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for joining. Nothing but love to all you guys. Check that out, Jamie. Boom. Nothing but love to all you guys. Yes. Thank you guys for all the love and support you guys always give me on Pin to Gas. It's an absolute honor, and I really get lost for words a lot of the time talking about it, because I never dreamed in a million years that all the love and feedback and being so accepted. It absolutely amazing. So thank everybody. And if you hadn't had a chance yet, yes, please go like and subscribe on all my social media platforms and all that good stuff. But listen, absolute honor. Jamie Astudillo, right? Did I say it right?
Astudillo, you were close.
Astudillo. Okay, I was close. Thank God I did not murder that. But yes, absolute honor. Thank you so much. Until next time. As Jules says, yes. Listen, Jamie. Honors all ours.
There it is. I love
Absolutely.
that. That's so great.
You can do it too, I think. Do you have an iPhone?
Yeah, I'm on the phone, so I only got one hand. But
oh, okay. Well, I don't know if it'll work one hand, right? It would be cool if it did, right? So. Yeah, but right. Anyway, thank you. Thanks for all the love and support. I will see you guys next time. I have some podcasts coming up, so you guys stay tuned. And don't forget, we got MotoGP this weekend. We got BSB coming up. We got the Northwest 200. We got the Isle of Man TT coming up. So you guys stay tuned. I can't wait. I'll see you guys next time. Jamie, that was absolutely a lot.